one chooses to walk the way of the Mandalore, you are both hunter and prey. This is the way.
This is the way.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
This is the way.
This is the way.
Wake up, Mandalorian.
I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise.
Hey, let's make the baby do the magic hand thing. Come on, baby. Do the magic hand thing.
What can I say? I'm an excellent judge of character.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Secondary Heroes podcast. This week, we're concluding Mandalorian Season 3 with wrapping up episodes 7 and 8. This is your host, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
This is the way. Oh, this is Prague.
Oh, hey, guys. This is Alexander Wolfgang.
And we have a special guest joining us this week.
That's right. I'm bringing it back. Secondary negatives. I'm back on this time. It's on this show instead of the other show.
That's
right.
right.
Crossing the streams.
Yeah. So who is this? Who are you? Introduce yourself.
I am the way. No, I am Aaron from Front Row Negative.
Aaron from Front Row Negative. Welcome on board. Is this your first time on board?
I think it is.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
you
know
were
that...
on his show last time.
Okay,
Yes.
Were you on his show, Prague?
Yes.
Yes.
You and
I was
right?
too. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trevor, you'll be next. One day.
Okay.
When they're done with their hiatus from dad duties. Which,
That's right.
hey, let's congratulate Chris again for having a kid and doing
Good luck, Chris.
doing the thing
Doing the
To
arts.
to make kids.
He did it well. Hey,
Keeping it
it's one
classy.
shot. It's a one-shot kill. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
it is.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I'm excited, guys, because I actually watched the show. Yes.
What?
This is a big
Spoiler
announcement
alert.
today. I watched the show from start to finish. Last time we talked, I only made it through 2 episodes, and here we are today. I've finished the whole thing. Can you
It's the secondary
can
heroes
you
first.
believe it?
No.
There you Hey, all my achievements have been unlocked. I'm ready to talk some Mandalorian.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
So, if you are new, or even if you're not, you know that we like to start with our spoiler-free reviews. What did we think of the show? Is it worth your time without giving it away? And then we'll take a break. We'll introduce ourselves, our socials, and then we'll go into spoilers. We'll let you know. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you care about spoilers, or you don't, we'll make it clear as possible. But for now, is it worth it? Did 7 and 8 fix maybe what we were thinking after the first 6 episodes? Because if you listen to that episode, we weren't super thrilled. Did this
Oy.
come full circle? I don't know. Let's find out.
Wow,
When we go around the horn, we'll start with Prague.
Sure. Okay. I would say that these final 2 episodes definitely helped round this show out pretty well. I will say it is worth your time if you're a Star Wars fan and you're interested in this lore. It is worth your time. There are some standout episodes. I do think it's still the weakest of the 3 seasons after all is said and done. But I think that with that last episode, it helped bump it up quite a bit. I can't really say too much else without spoiling anything. I will say that there was a lot more action in the second half of the season than the first half. The first half I felt like was all exposition and talking and nothing happening. And the second half was all action. It was all like, let's get things done. Let's move the plot along. And I enjoyed that better. So it kind of ramped up, I think. Not perfectly. I had some issues with the final 2 episodes, for sure. And I think a lot of that has to do with the show being week by week rather than a full dump of episodes. You still have now this thing where the entire internet has to talk about every episode in between episodes, and they have their theories, and it's not, I don't think it's meant to be that kind of show all the time. Even though Star Wars can be that way, like, oh, I wonder what the plot twist is going to be this time. And maybe there's not always a big plot twist. It's just a fun adventure, you know? And I think that that's what the season was ultimately, which just was a fun adventure with some lore sprinkled in. Didn't always hit the mark for me in that way, but I think that's what they were trying for. And so I wasn't necessarily disappointed in anything this season. I was fine with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Prague, I'm going to go now, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
I don't mind at all.
When I watched this show, I watched only 2 episodes. When we talked last.
Mm-hmm.
Friends, this show was meant to be binged. This was not meant to be a back-to-back. You were absolutely right, Prague. This is a binge season because I watched 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and I tell you what, man, I enjoyed it. I was like, I don't know what these guys. Speaking of Prague and Trevor, don't know what you guys were talking about. I enjoyed
You know what we're
the
talking
heck.
about, though.
I enjoyed myself, maybe because I was in a good space in my life. I was feeling good about things.
Drink some LaCroix.
Wow.
That's
I,
right.
my LaCroix, burping in my office. No, it was. I had fun, and I think the last episodes was a fun way of rounding it out. Yes, we spend a lot of time with Bo-Katan, and I think she's a really fun character, and I do hope to see more of her, which I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of her, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more characters that we've been speculating on as well.
Speculating.
But that's the thing what's the word, Doc? Give me the right word.
Speculating. I know. I like you. The way you pronounced it was delightful. I
Speculating.
really enjoyed it. I'm gonna be doing that from now on.
I just
Adding that to my
had
vernacular.
fun. I think the problem with the last episode is I watched it at midnight, and I probably shouldn't have watched it at midnight, and because I was too tired. I'm hoping you guys are going to jar my memory, but this show, all in all, you're absolutely right, Prague. It's a fun adventure. There's no stakes. It's just a fun time. It's a fun time. Anyways, who wants to go next?
Indeed. I love it.
I'll go
Aaron,
next.
how about you?
No, I can go
Okay,
next. I don't want
okay.
to put the pressure on our
Okay.
guest.
Yes.
So for me, I definitely feel like it's fun, but I feel like the no stakes point is a little bit too on the nose. I think the reason that 7 and 8 are better than 1 through 6 is that there's one distinct point. Like 1 through 6, they're kind of just flowing without one like main point of conflict. And then in 7 and 8, they gave us one main point of conflict. I rolled my eyes at that point of conflict. That's that goes into the whole no stakes thing. And I've been seeing that a lot of people relatively liked 8, and I don't get it. I felt like the fight sequences were mediocre at best, especially within the context of Star Wars. Like maybe it's a good fight sequence for other shows or series, but they're kind of basic. And again, it just that stakes aspect. I was bored more than anything. Like I know that we've talked about drifting off, looking at my phone, or just not really maintaining my attention, and that's what 7 and 8 both felt like, which was a continuation of 1 through 6. This season is definitely the weakest, and season 2 wasn't as good. This is a show that season 1 could have been all that they ever had in mind, because seasons 2 and 3 don't feel up to the same standard or pedigree or excitement or any of those aspects. It just felt like they're drawing out. Like all the cuteness and introduction of Baby Yoda is played out at this point. When we go and we introduce Bo-Katan, and now it's like, oh, look, we're going to do Mandalore lore, but then they don't really go and continue the lore that we've established in Clone Wars and Rebels, and they're kind of hodgepodge with it, and oh, we'll selectively use some source material here and not. And I know that Dave Filoni has creative influence on this show, so I don't know why he wouldn't continue what he's established already. And it feels like it's all over the place. It still feels like an uneven season. You have good sequences, you have boring sequences, you have bad sequences, but when you take it together, it's just highly forgettable. I won't, at the end of this year, remember that I even watched Mandalorian season 3. Like, we're going to recap things that we watched, and I won't remember this show existed. And that's not to say it wasn't fun while it was on, but it sure was. It was just passive. I feel like the writing was passive, and me as a watcher was passive.
Wow.
Harsh but fair. All right.
I could see that.
Okay, so
Aaron.
I wasn't on the show whenever y'all discussed season 1 and season 2, but season 1 and season 2 felt like Lone Wolf and Cub. Very, very
That's a great
spaghetti western, Eastern samurai-esque, and it felt wrapped up. After season 2, it felt like it wrapped up. Then we got the book of Boba Mandalorian, and That
Mm-hmm.
tried to create more a need for a season 3, which I know everybody wanted the season 3, but season 3, 1 through 6, felt like they were building a slow burn, a slow build. They're trying to build the lore. They're trying to remind people who watched Clone Wars like 15 years ago, the lore. They're trying to rebuild all of that. Then you get to the last 2 episodes, and everything feels rushed. Everything feels crammed together for a total of like 1 hour and 20 minutes of actual episode time, not the 10-minute credit scene at the end or 10 minutes of credits. It just felt rushed. And the fight scenes, I mean, come on. There are better science fiction fight scenes out there. Equilibrium exists. That movie exists. And that has blasters or guns. So they could have done better. They threw names out. We got cameos. This wasn't the best.
It sounds like you're having a hard time not hitting on spoilers.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
But we're trying to
They
go
should
around
call it
it.
Cameos. Yes.
I mean, we're called Front Row Negative for a reason, and I try not to be too negative on the show, but
we are, so it's fine.
but
I'm on board again.
But it didn't live. I feel this season didn't live up to the hype, with the exception of name dropping and that one cameo. It was mediocre. The mediocre in. So
mediocrities.
Cool.
Yeah. Well said. All right.
All right, guys.
Well, Alex.
All right, my turn.
Take it
So
away.
buckle up, buckaroos. Okay, so hey, if you want to know more about us and secondary heroes and Front Row Negative, actually, we are all on crossthestreamsmedia.com. Check us out over there. You could leave us voicemails, you can leave reviews, you can listen to all of our episodes, you can check out all of our YouTube episodes as well, because you can watch us on YouTube as well. Do you want to know what Aaron looks like from Front Row Negative? Tune in on there. Make sure you like and subscribe over there too. Leave a comment, leave a review. We want to get those 5 stars, baby. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for. Right, Aaron? 5 stars for reviews?
5 stars.
Anyways,
5 stars.
over on Cross the Streams Media, you can find other cool podcasts like Front Row Negative and a lot more. They're adding shows all the time, which is really great. And yeah, you can find us and them there. If you do listen on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review and actually leave a review. We want to know what you guys think of what we're doing. Is this even worth us doing this? Of course it is, because we're a bunch of white guys that have nothing else to do with our lives at night.
I'm partial to that comment.
Oh, sorry. My bad. That was an assumption on my part. Anyways, just remember, all of this is free for you. It's priceless to us.
That's right.
Awesome. So, as I said earlier, I'll let you know when we're going to talk spoilers, and that point is now. So, do what you will with that information.
Okay.
Now the question is, where do we start? Do we go and just go right to the end of episode 8? Do we talk about the build-up in 7? 7 and 8 is tough rather than just doing 8.
I think so. Yeah.
So I guess 7 starts off with reintroducing Moff Gideon. He's escaped from the last time he was captured, and there's this whole underground shadow council that he's talking to all these holograms, and they insinuate that Thrawn's returning. But in the meantime, we got to build and ready for Thrawn. And then Star Wars Celebration happened at the same time, and there's the whole trailer for Ahsoka, and we see that Thrawn, and there's going to be an upcoming
kind of
movie
deflated that moment,
Filoni's
huh?
going to do,
It did.
and all this stuff is tied together. But that's all not going to happen in Mandalorian. So instead, the big bad for this season is the same as the big bad for the last 2 seasons, and somehow it really just dampens the mood and the stakes and everything when it's like, didn't they defeat that guy?
They did.
So, okay, so, and then they tried to bring up the tension with, and I think this, I'm going to go back to 6 because the whole finding the Y-Wing and then saying, oh, this is Beskar Steel. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Wait a second. Never mind. It just dawned on me why there was Beskar Steel in there to get Moff Gideon out of that transport Y-Wing. Never mind, because he has Beskar Steel from Mandalore. Wow, Alex just connected dots right
did
in
it.
front of
Yeah.
your eyes, people.
Live.
This was live. This just happened.
It's
Such
exclusive.
subtle
Only here.
dots too. Like the show didn't hint. Those were very subtle. It was tough to extrapolate that.
I'm going to give Moff Gideon something here. I want to say that he took over Mandalore to create this underground layer with all this Imperial stuff or Emperor stuff, whatever one it is. I don't know. They're all the same to me.
I think it's
But
the same
he
thing.
made, it's all the same thing. So he made a whole new form of stormtroopers and his own little stormtrooper outfit. But guys, he paid respects to Mandor by Mandor. by the Mandalorian people by making the helmets all look like Mandalorian helmets. It was so sweet that he did that.
It was nice of him.
He didn't
likes
have to make
culturally
his helmet-
appropriate is what he does.
That's exactly-
that's
That's
kind
right.
of his gig.
Unlike
mean-
me in my social media part where I called Aaron a white guy.
Yeah,
that
pretty
part.
much. It happens. I mean, Tampa Bay lost anyways, so it's all good.
Just one game. Just one game. We've got another one coming up.
To
Sorry,
lose.
we
Shots
talk
fired.
hockey
still-
when we talk. So
But still, I
Yeah.
mean, Moff Gideon, aka Darth Vader, ordered from Wish, makes his intro back. He comes in with his all black suit and his black cape, with the red trim around it. Yeah, I didn't, I saw that. Come on now.
so
He's fanboying, is what he's doing.
Yeah, what is with these bad guys? They are always dressing in all black, and whenever they put their helmets on, they have to muffle up their voice to sound like Darth Vader. It's
Well, not Krennic. Krennic was wearing all white. He was a good bad guy, I thought. In Rogue One.
A good bad guy.
Yeah.
Hold on, was he in Mandalorian? Am I missing?
No.
See, that's
I'm
where
saying Star
going here.
Wars in general.
Because I'm thinking you got Kylo Ren honoring Darth Vader with his whole mask.
Well,
and
technically, he's a relative. That makes sense.
pish posh,
He's a relative.
Posh.
pish posh. We're splitting hairs now. And then Moff Gideon doing his Mandalorian thing.
And then doing his Bane voice when he put the helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
They all got to have the muffled voice.
A little bit of Darth Maul there too with the helmet. So
Well,
he's
so
paying
the
homage to a
Darth
lot.
Maul thing, it's even worse than that because in Clone Wars, pre-Vizsla, they swear their allegiance to Darth Maul once Darth Maul takes over Mandalore and kills Satine, who's Sabine's sister, or who's Bo-Katan's sister, and Bo-Katan never mentions that my sister, I betrayed her.
Yeah.
And she ended up dying, and I have no right whatsoever to hold the Darksaber, but that's fine.
Yeah, she's conveniently not talking about that.
I won't talk about my history at all. But anyway, that guy creates stupid Mandalorian helmets with spikes on the head as a shout out to Darth Maul because they owe their allegiance to Darth Maul. And so for him to go back and make, I don't know, it was even worse for him to do it.
Well, the armorer does it.
That's true.
The
The
armor is
has
a
that
weird
same look.
character. At least she
weird
actually did
character.
something this season.
I have a feeling that the armor, the fan theory about her being Mara Jade. I hope that's true.
I've not heard
Later
that
on.
one. I've heard a lot of other ones, but not that one.
I'm hoping
Okay.
that's true. But she's got the spikes on her helmet too. Armor,
She does.
Moff Gideon, that
Yeah,
one
that
guy
was
that
the
was in the
big-
background of episode 7.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation online about who the armor is, and we all thought it was going to be revealed in the last episode, and it wasn't. That was kind of disappointing. Which goes back to my what I was saying in the beginning was like, this is not meant to be a mystery box type show. I don't think it was meant to be that way, and I think fans were taking it as such. They're like, "Oh my god, who's the spy? Who's this? Who's the armor? What's going on? Why are they betraying this?" And nothing really happened. It was just your basic. We
The
killed
titles
the bad guy
were
and
really
won.
bad.
Yeah, that's right. We never got a
Terrible.
resolution for who the spy
No.
was. They even
Never
named
did.
the show
Nothing
that title.
happened. Even Axe Woes, he did nothing. Like he helped save them, but we all thought he was going to turn on them too. It was like, what?
Yeah. He ran
Wow,
away.
Okay,
Or flew away.
I don't get it. So it was very anticlimactic in that.
I mean, there's a
regard.
long shot of the armor leaving.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
You thought,
in
oh, she's abandoned
and
him.
like they're setting it up. They show it for like 5 minutes straight, and then nothing happens.
And nope, she comes back with the forces. Like, oh, okay.
No, the only resolution we got was Baby Yoda in his Krang suit. That was the only resolution we got.
Yeah.
Served his
No.
purpose.
So what did you guys think of that? Did you guys like that they brought that droid back for some reason? It did not seem to make sense to me. But what did you guys think?
It's paying homage, Alexander, and I'll explain how. It's paying homage. Remember in Empire Strikes Back, Han cut open the Tauntaun and put Luke inside to save his life.
Oh,
They could open that I-88 droid and put Baby Yoda in that suit to save his life. It's homage.
Ooh, you see what I'm doing? This is
It's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. I'm kind of lukewarm on this one. Sorry.
Lukewarm?
Yeah. I'm a bit
Lukewarm.
Luke cold.
I thought it was super hot garbage to the point that my notes I wrote. You know those pet videos where people put those soundboards in front of them and they tap something? That's what it felt like. It felt like a TikTok video within the structure of the show. And all I wrote is this annoying. Yes, because he's just slamming that yes button.
That's all he does,
Dang.
Okay, about buttons and dogs, dude. I saw the saddest one. One of the dogs threw up, and then he walked over to a button and he goes, "Ouchie!" And then the mom's like, "Ooh," and so he curled up and they cuddled, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that broke my heart!" So now everybody who's listening, I hope your heart broke as well because I needed to share.
All those TikTok videos are staged.
That's
You're staged.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't think I hated it as much as most people did. I was fine with it. There was one scene in particular I was annoyed with, and I think it was the one where they're walking through town and he just kept saying yes.
That was the part that was annoying.
It just never stopped. I was like, okay, we get it. My God.
Well, it would have been funny if Mando would have like stopped him, went around the back, and just pulled like the vocal cord.
Done something
vocal cord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that would have been great. But he needed to break up the pirate Mandalorians from fighting so he could go, no.
Yeah.
Well, that was his one, like, really just Jedi mythology type of thing, to just be the peacekeeper.
The peacekeeper, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping that in the last episode that he was going to take that robot and just go John Wick style on all those troopers.
That would have been fun, huh?
Like the robot did in the first season.
Grab their stuff, yeah.
Do something cool instead of just jump around.
Oh, the jumping around. Oh,
that's his patented move.
I can't do the jumping around.
It's like, what's your move, kid? I jump. What else can you do? I jump backwards. I can do a flip. What else, kid?
Crisscross.
Side flip.
Well, no, he can do shields. This is the second time he did fire shield.
No, he did the big fire
shield. That was
he did it in season 1. They're like, that was so good. We're going to do it again.
It's the same animation. Nothing's been changed.
Nothing's been changed, yes.
So,
it might have been a shot for the Incredibles. I'm not too sure how they go.
I got to tell you, I totally understand Pedro Pascal being mad about being on this show.
Oh, he wasn't on the show. What are you talking about?
He wasn't.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Everybody in this show took off their helmet, and all he asked is if he could take off his helmet, and they told him no.
Well, no, not the armorer did not take off.
She didn't take her helmet off.
No, I know, but I'm not saying I didn't mean everyone.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but if he took his helmet off, that would have negated like the first 5 episodes of this season.
Exactly, I know, but at the same time, the dude just wanted to take off. Bo-Katan goes and
this episode brought to you by LaCroix.
She washes herself in... Is it Bo-Katan? What is it? Is it Bo-Katan?
Baccarat?
Bo-Katan. She washes herself, but then the armor says you can take off your helmet. It's cool. You walk both worlds. Wait a second.
Yeah,
hey, I'm dead. I took off my helmet. Can I do it again?
Bo-Katan has a convention in a few weeks. She needs that moneymaker out there so people will recognize her.
That's true.
That's true, I guess.
She does.
That's the way that we're going to look at this. So, so now let's, I'm on a roll right now. Sorry,
you
guys.
Are. Yeah, let's go.
You are.
I know last time we talked about how the show is called The Mandalorian and how, it could follow any Mandalorian at this point. Sure. But I watched the show with subtitles, and whenever...
Was it in Spanish?
I wish, man. I need to learn Spanish. Rosetta Stone, help me out. Down below, it always says The Mandalorian is saying whatever. So it's like, well, they should have just changed that to Din Djarin says this.
Din Djarin?
All right, that's it. I'm done.
Din
you guys.
Oh, I love
Finish
this.
it up
This is
for me,
great.
baby.
No, I think you should do the rest of the episode yourself.
I
This is
don't.
great. I'm
These
enjoying
guys'
it.
names are so dumb, dude. I can't
Ugh.
keep track of,
Star Wars
Boba
names are pretty
Drinks
silly.
and
I
Din
like
Jar
them, though.
Jars.
Yes.
Din Jar Jars?
Din Jar Jars.
Oh, don't tell me Jar Jar becomes a Din. I don't want that to happen.
No, he was the
was a-
original Din.
Yeah.
He's the one who
God.
raised Mando.
Oh my God, you're right. He is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
he
So
saved-
Ahmed
he saved
Best
man.
played him. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh, it's
Yep.
We didn't get the wrap up of Grogu and how.
No, we won't until season 4. That's
Oh
my
God.
guess. More
There's
backstory.
no
You gotta
way
save the
we're
backstory.
They just unnecessarily explain things, though. They literally explained
Yeah.
to us how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber from Bo-Katan originally. Like,
Yep.
did we really need that exposition at all? He got
So
it.
dumb.
Well, we kind of needed to know what happened to the history of it, like where it went and everything. Because from Clone Wars
showed it,
to
too.
Rebels, they kind of just ignored it. Just
Well,
like
no, they did.
Bo-Katan
Sabine
ignored her
takes
sister.
hold of it.
Hmm?
This is after Sabine gives it to Bo-Katan. Then Bo-Katan loses it.
But her explaining how she lost it to Moff Gideon was like a big mystery. Just like Bo-Katan's family reunion invitation.
Well, no, it wasn't a mystery as much. It was unnecessary just because we have the point where Sabine's like, I'm going to hand it to Bo-Katan. She didn't beat me in battle. I'm just going to give it to you because I think you're a better leader. And then Din wants to do the same thing. And she's like, nah. Even though literally a few years ago, Sabine just did that to me. So.
See, but that's the thing. You have to, with a show like this, I feel like you don't really have to watch all that stuff to get the gist of this.
You don't. But
Yeah,
they also
which is
don't need to
nice.
show me, handhold me through things that it's like showing me the Millennium Falcon going through the Kessel Run. There's just some things you don't need to show me or tell me. I get it.
But he's going 12 parsecs.
I mean, we didn't really need that movie either.
No, we don't need much of anything. But
In the Star Wars universe, you're right.
I mean, the first 2 sentences in the scroll for New Hope got a whole movie.
right. We
That
didn't
was
need that
bad,
Obi-Wan
yeah.
show when we could have just done a live action Jedi Fallen Order, now Jedi Survival, but it's fine.
It is what it is.
We're
We
Star
just-
Wars fans, people.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Jedi Survival comes out on April 28th.
I know it's almost here.
I mean, why have a solo movie when you have, Shadows of the Empire waiting in the wings to get made as live
Yeah,
action?
everything,
form?
all this stuff that's already been written. There's like, no, we're just gonna have this made up thing that like is terrible writing and do that instead.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but the
Okay.
made up stuff is fun. Like,
Well, I mean, we still just this show no one cared that TIE fighters came up and blew up Bo-Katan's castle. Like,
Right?
no one ever made a mention after that sequence happened. Where did those TIE fighters come from? Who cares? Nope. They didn't even acknowledge it happened.
Nope.
There was one mention where they said, "Well, how could there be this many Imperial ships this far out in the galaxy? Like, well, how is that possible?" That was briefly mentioned.
Yeah,
and
but
I
they don't
found
follow
one
up on
That's
that
it,
question.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Do
It wasn't.
we
We
care?
should find out where these things
Yeah.
are, where they're coming from.
But yeah, never tied back to Moff Gideon or his little spy that's in the
Nothing.
New Republic. Nothing
Right.
was tied back. It
No,
was like,
nothing was.
hey, it happened. Let's move on to the next scene.
It was action. Just like when the Mythosaur blows up out of the ground just to destroy their little sandcrawler ship, and then he goes back underground and they're like, whatever.
Okay.
That was a cool action sequence, huh?
wait, the Mythosaur jumped out?
No, it wasn't a Mythosaur. That was another creature.
It was?
I was
Yeah.
about to say the
Apparently, yes.
Mythosaur. Wait, what?
I don't know. It looked like Godzilla to me.
It looked
it
like
had, like,
the
a-
dinosaur from Jurassic World.
He had the spikes on his back. He kind of looked like Godzilla.
Wait,
He
am
looked
I
like
thinking
Godzilla.
I'm thinking
did.
of the dragon scene.
I don't know what you're thinking of, Alex.
Remember
but
the
there
dragon
was-
scene where the big dinosaur came up and ate the dragon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
That was
was
like
Jurassic
Jurassic World.
World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Mesosaur.
Yes.
It was a mesosaur.
Did they end up eating those baby dragons? Because they were totally frying something over a pit.
No, we never knew what happened to those baby dragons ever
Oh my
again.
god, we don't know what happens to them. They said these are new foundlings. Train them. Get them armor.
Nowhere to be seen.
This feels like Andor. Andor started off for a guy looking for his sister. Ends with him forgetting about his sister.
That's true. He didn't remember his sister, huh?
Yeah. The whole season was him looking for his sister, and then at the end is like that. What sister?
That's weird.
Never saw it.
Oh.
we did a whole episode on it. Guess what? I was clueless.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Well, we've been bashing this shit. Is there anything that you liked about this? The last 2 episodes here.
Okay, I know that
Anybody?
you guys kept bashing on the fight scenes.
Yeah,
I didn't bash it. I said it was neutral. I was fine with them. They weren't great. They weren't bad.
My biggest
They're
issue with the
fine.
fight scenes is
Whatever.
this: everybody used the flamethrower. Nobody really got burned except for like the minor characters.
Yeah.
I mean, Mando was doused in flames in that final episode.
Beskar is
Nothing.
impervious to everything.
But the new stormtroopers were in Beskar too, and they were like screaming "ah" when they got burned.
Yeah, they were.
Well, you'd think there would just be the heat from metal heating up, and you're inside of it. You would
think
be extremely hot, but it doesn't matter.
But
Mando's
Din Djar-
Beskar is better. It's shiny.
It's shiny. It's got that ceramic finish.
Yeah,
I
it
wanna
reflects
be
the heat
shiny.
off. It's like a solar panel.
I mean, the others look like
Exactly.
shiny bowling pins, but they were screaming when they got flamed, and Din Djarin just kind of ninja rolled out the way.
That's what happens when Moff Gideon tries to mass produce it versus the armor making it with TLC. She went and cared to
Does.
make
Oh,
it.
that love and care really
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Yeah.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. So,
Stick
anyways,
to the Mesosaur ponds that you're used to.
I was
Yes.
trying to say something good about this show, and I thought that the fight scenes were good. I will say the end of episode 7, where we didn't. Was it episode 7 where Din was, where our Mando friend was all tied up, and we were
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
"Oh
it
no,
was.
what's going to
We're gonna
happen to
take-
him?" Where there was a little piece of me like, "Oh wow, are they going to kill him off?" And then it's like, now we really truly do have to follow Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan.
Right.
Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan.
Got it. You got it. Yeah.
You-
Got
You're,
it,
you're
baby.
getting it.
Hey, Star
Bo-Katan.
Wars.
Bo-Katan.
It's
Bo-Katan.
Star
Bo-Katan.
Wars.
Ubli Katan.
Booblik.
Yes. Bo-Katan.
But no, I
Bo-Katan.
thought that was interesting. It left me on a cliffhanger and made me want more at that point. Except for like all those guys sitting there behind the wall going, no, don't hurt him. That was
Yeah,
a
she
little
had the dark saber. She could have just cut through the thing.
right. She was cutting
Yeah.
through one of the doors.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna go this way.
She could have. She could have, but
Now
she
the
didn't do it.
sets did not look good. There were some sets that looked like they were thrown together pretty quickly.
I thought you were doing
Yeah.
positives. That was it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what-
where's the
Happened,
positive?
Alex?
So
Welcome
Okay,
to Front Row
okay.
Negative.
I'll give you a positive. When they ran down that big corridor and came across Moff Gideon's army and saw like, wait a second, what's going on here? And they see all the TIE fighters and all that. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I would have never guessed. Would have never guessed that there was going to
Never
be a
guessed the
whole
secret
army
base.
there or a whole army.
You never
base.
guessed that they were running into a trap, and it
Nope,
looked like
I
the
had no
biggest,
idea
most
they were-
obvious trap of
Yeah.
like all time in any kind of
And
filming
it's
history.
Star Wars. That's what they
I
do.
was having fun,
Brand.
people. That's what I was. I was having
Aw.
fun with this show.
I mean, haven't you played Fallen Order?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he hasn't
Sad,
played
sad person.
that, yeah. I know.
Sad person.
Do I need to go over my list of things that busy my day up on a daily basis?
No, that's okay. Don't do that.
Come on, Prague.
No, do that. Well, I will say a nice thing then. I will say I really enjoyed the music. I mean, the music's always been kind of a standout for this show,
Yes.
but I think the last episode was the best it's been. Like, it was really well done. Really hammered home everything. I think you had the themes on point. I really liked the music when the music swelled during the fire explosion. Like, that was really good. I really enjoyed it this episode in particular. Because there were points during the final episode, as much as I didn't enjoy it, I was kind of bored, so I kind of looked away sometimes. And I was like, but I kept turning back because the music was so good. I'm like, this is pretty good. What's going on? I'm like, oh, it's just the music. Okay. But I enjoyed it. Good music. So good job.
I liked
only-
R5.
Yeah.
And I liked
5's
the
always fun.
police mouse droids. I thought
Always,
that was
always.
fun.
No, come on.
Always, Alex.
No.
Yes.
That was so lame.
It
All
wasn't,
they
though.
started doing was ramming into R5. Like, that's
Yeah, it was
doing
great.
nothing. Like,
What else can mouse droids do? They're not very
Asteroids,
capable.
Go contact, hey, stormtrooper guy.
The one
Come
left
over.
and got 3 more.
Yeah, that's what he did. Yes, they all came up.
That was so
I thought they were gonna like encircle him and like create like an electric barrier or something like that to trap him or something.
Funny.
Give me some, like, what is the point of a mouse droid? It came up and it did nothing. R5 barely tapped one of them and it went hurling over the edge. Hurling.
It'll be fine.
Over the edge.
It'll land on its wheels.
The only thing that I had with the music though was every time that Mando did anything,
yeah.
we got the
his theme
flutes,
song.
the flute, the Mando flute, and I was like, oh God, stop.
They pan to his helmet. His foot steps in the screen.
Every time.
Give me something else.
Okay, as a wrestling fan, every time that one I forget her character's name, Cuska Reeves, I think.
Cuska Reeves, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever she would do like an attack, she would do like a jumping Superman punch, but with her blasters. That's all she ever did was like a jumping Superman punch with the blasters.
That's not her theme song though.
It's not a theme song. Although that was pretty cool.
Okay.
The music was, again, everybody said the music. I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. The two best things throughout the entire show was seeing Zeb show up. I marked out for that because I thought that was great. And they got the original voice actor to reprise his role to voice him in the episode. So that was great. Second, funnest thing was, or best thing for me was the artwork in the credits. That's it.
Artwork in the credits is amazing, always.
Oh, Alex.
Skipped.
Concept art is awesome.
Episode. Oh, credits are rolling. And next episode.
All those hardworking people, Alex.
I scrolled right through. I'm like, okay, am I going to get that after credit scene here?
You know what? You say that now, but when you go to Comic-Con, you're going to buy the art pieces from some of those artists out there.
Oh, how you don't know me.
Yeah, I'm like, that's me. I don't think Alex would do that. I would.
Notice my bare walls in my office.
I see a Shredder. Is that a Shredder poster behind you?
Shredder poster that was given to me.
He does have a Shredder poster.
He does.
It had to be given to him, though. So
it had to be given to me. No, I got a couple of things. I don't know.
I do want to mention that I did enjoy Bo-Katan flying with the Darksaber when she ignited it and flew with everybody together. The Mandalorians. That was a fun scene. That felt like it was straight out of the animation. And it was in live action. So like, oh, it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, I definitely have eyes rolled at yay, leader, and then yay, leader? Jetpack fight.
You like jetpack fights, huh?
Dude.
Oh, it's a bunch of Rocketeers fighting each other.
Yeah.
Right? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Rocketeering stuff.
I feel like the CGI was just so...
The CGI of it was bad, yes.
It just took me out of it.
It did.
Yeah.
Okay.
CGI kind of ruined a lot of stuff in this show, unfortunately.
Because I binged it, I'm going to jump backwards a little bit with the Tim Meadows. I
forgot he was in this show. I forgot he was in there too.
You guys blasted Tim Meadows, and I actually liked. I was like,
I love Tim Meadows.
Look at this.
Against him personally.
The rebels are now not that great.
Sure.
What you've got to sign some accord. I thought we were supposed to be good against.
It's due process.
Due process, man.
Due process.
You've got a fighter standing there going, "I'm ready to fight. I've got a whole battalion of guys ready to go there. I will do this."
Haven't you seen any?
You know what?
Haven't you seen any of the Lethal Weapon movies? Got paperwork.
Exactly.
Do you want
paperwork?
Do you want me to be honest?
I'm being honest. Paperwork. He's too old for this stuff.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna say it, but yes.
Look at you editing yourself so I don't have to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Real American over there. Okay. Can we get some more positives about this show?
Yeah, I feel like the fight sequences, the one where Bo-Katan uses her knee rockets and then flies into Gideon with the Darksaber, I thought that was a good setup. But then when you transition back out of it to Grogu and the Praetorian Guards and Mando, everything is in slow motion because they have the puppet. All the fight scenes look like how they would practice the fight scenes backstage. Like you go and aim here and here.
Your turn to go. Okay, now it's your turn. Okay, you hit.
That was just such a stark juxtaposition where you had a good fight choreographed sequence and then an extremely slow first day on the set fight sequence.
Yeah, you can't have that scene fall, after the scene from what is it called? Return of I can't remember all the names of these
Last
stupid movies.
Jedi.
Last Jedi, thank you.
Yes,
the throne
with
room.
that throne room
The
scene.
throne
Yes.
room.
Yeah.
Like you follow that scene up with that, like, if you're gonna do that scene, do that before that was ever done, because that was the peak of it.
It was difficult to see those guards literally chasing a Mogwai on the ceiling.
I know.
And they were bumbling, trying to chase
Yeah.
him on the ceiling aperture.
Like 6-year-old me would have been ticked off, because that was like my favorite part of Return of the Jedi.
I was waiting for like
those
Tom and
guards.
Jerry music to play when they were like swiping at the lights hanging overhead.
Yeah, get him! It's like a spider. Get
Oh
him.
no, there he goes.
Nope.
He's over
And
there.
he's all
Fred.
laughing.
Oh, now I'm tracking. Yeah, and he just kept running in circles. He just kept running in
on the
circles.
He
Shrek
kept
lighting.
jumping in circles. He kept jumping in circles.
Yeah.
Fun
I was waiting for that
times, man.
Tom and Jerry scream to happen whenever the thing fell.
Yeah, never did.
Speaking of screams, thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Star Wars. You did not give me not one, in so many times when they could have throw the Wilhelm scream in there. They did not do it. Thank you, Star Wars. You just got a check mark in the good position for me.
That mouse
I
ray
noticed
falling off
that.
the edge should have got that.
He should have. That would have been great. It would have been digitized.
Yeah.
I would have been, dude,
yeah.
I would have been so pissed. I would have been so mad if that happened. I
Oh,
probably would have
I hope
stopped
somebody
watching.
I hope somebody edits that for TikTok or something like that. Little mouse ray
Do it,
falls off the
Ed.
edge. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the Wilhelm scream so much. That is
This
a
guy.
running thing on here, Aaron. If you did not know, I hate.
So,
Wilhelm
fun
scream.
fact, the Wilhelm scream was my text alert for many, many years on my phone.
Well done.
Alex has left the chat.
Yep. He's gone. So there you go. There's a
Oh, I hate
positive. No Wilhelm scream.
Yes, big positive. Very good.
Very good. I did enjoy the armor fighting. I really enjoyed that she uses hammers.
Oh,
That was kind of fun.
I have a
Yeah.
positive. I have a positive. Because of these last two episodes, there will be new toys to the Star Wars Black Series, which will have Moff Gideon's new armor, the new Beskar Stormtroopers, all of that, which I will gladly buy to add to my Star Wars Trooper collection. So
There you go.
there's a positive.
There's a positive.
That's not of the show, but will come from the show. So
This is the way.
These are going
I
to be
don't-
all Comic-Con exclusives.
Yeah.
No.
or a Walmart exclusive or GameStop.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know the guy's name, but the guy that Bo-Katan fights to take her old crew back over, that guy who was like super sus
Axe-Wolves?
the entire
Yeah,
time.
X-Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he it looked like he was gonna leave and literally be one of the spies. Like I
Oh, yeah.
liked
Yeah.
that. And then he goes to be, and I was like, oh, now he's gonna be a martyr and go down with the ship. But then he actually flies
no.
out the window and the ship just crashes and he's perfectly fine. I liked those 3 stages of that guy.
That final scene of him, I was expecting like a Mentos commercial, like him flying out holding a roll of Mentos.
Instead of the dark saber, he's holding a Mentos.
Yeah.
Roll. Oh, fresh maker. Winks at the camera.
It's a freeze frame of him leaving the window. Whoosh.
Oh, the 3 stages of woes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ends
Wow.
with Mentos.
Trevor, that was great.
That would have been.
That really
cool.
was what we thought, right? We thought he was sus, and then we thought he was gonna
Yeah.
die, and then he left.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot. Whatever.
Amazing.
I don't know about that guy. Not my
But
favorite.
it is sad they couldn't actually defeat Moff Gideon, and instead it was just the Star Cruiser crashing that kills him.
Yeah, wasn't them really.
Yeah,
He just stood by the
It was a
cliff
little
edge.
disappointing.
He should have gotten at least the dark saber through him.
At least that. Something
And
to
then, like,
really
Kicked, and then
Something
the
makes sense,
cruiser, boom! Wow,
And then Wilhelm
I'm all
screamed.
visual.
And then
And then
Wilhelm
Wilhelm screamed under the hood, so it's all digitized.
It's all muffled and distorted.
Yeah, it's like the Bane voice. That would have been great. I do like how all 3 of the family members slide when they fight. See Grogu and Bo-Katan and Din, they all slid fighting. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Dave Filoni was there at the bar with Carson
Yeah.
Teva. That was fun to see him in the
was.
background, chilling out.
Was he wearing his cowboy hat?
He was, yeah.
No
That's what
way!
made him stand
oh
out.
my god! Really?
Oh, you see him? Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know it's him.
Oh my god, I missed that. I
Yeah,
probably
he's
would've
kind of hiding in the background.
Yes.
said- Oh, that's great.
So what did you think of the end where we get to like wrap up? Like there doesn't need to be a new season. Like we
Right, it's done,
oddly
right?
there could
Doesn't
be a
need
new
to be.
season, but they wrapped up so many storylines that if a new season ever comes back, it is wrapped up. It's really interesting.
No, I mean we've got Space Avengers about to happen soon with
Yeah, man.
Mandalorian and
It's season 2 all
Bo-Katan
over again. Let's go.
and Ahsoka and Luke. They're gonna fight Space Negan and Thrawn, and it'll be great.
Exactly.
And if we're all being honest, I mean, he didn't die from the Star Cruiser.
Of course not. We know
No.
that. He's going to be Snoke. We know this.
His arm is gonna come. It's gonna be next season. The very first scene, it's gonna be rubble, and then a hand goes, and he climbs out with his sweet helmet.
And
No,
with the
I'm telling you,
repaired
it-
Darksaber.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
going to be
that's
Snoke.
right. He destroyed the dark saber.
Yeah.
Now there is no dark saber. Who's gonna rule?
Yeah, I guess they don't
500
need their
years of
trinkets.
500 years of service just crushed.
Yep.
Oh well.
Damn, that's crushing.
It hurt the soul. It hurt her soul. All that build up.
Just buy a new one at the next con.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Let's buy a new one. Go
They
to Party
sell those at
City.
Disneyland.
Go buy
You'll
some
be
death
fine.
sticks.
Oh my god, Disneyland.
Death sticks. Yes. Good callback. I think that's all I had for my good stuff in my notes.
The
I'm
good
looking at.
stuff?
I'm like, I think that's it.
Well, if we're gonna
I
move
mean, I
back
really
into
like
bad-
Bo-Katan, so I can't like getting more of her this season, honestly. Katie Sackhoff, I love her. So the more of her
I gotta
get,
be honest
the
with you.
happier I am.
Uh,
I know
she
Alex
did
doesn't
it for
care,
me.
right?
There was
Oh, she
something.
did. Oh wow.
She did it for me. There was
Alright.
something there that I was like, "You're doing it for me. I like this."
All right. It's doing it for Din as well, so she's
Yeah.
doing something right.
Really? I didn't. I didn't
catch up
feel
on
that
that?
connection.
Yeah.
I did not
She,
feel that connection.
And he pledged his loyalty to her.
Yeah, he's laying down them bars.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
okay. That
Speaking
guy
of-
pledges
hey,
his
hey.
life and loyalty to everyone. You
Hey.
do one little thing, and he
Ah.
goes, "I'm in debt to you forever."
It was pretty
You know what?
poetic. Saying.
Just like he was sliding in the battle, he was sliding in her DMs.
That's right. There you go.
You know what
There's
it's
your
gonna be?
soundbite.
It's gonna be a whole lot of this.
What, macaroni?
Oh. For those of you who are not watching, you have two helmets.
One's
Two
a-
helmets
or the-
knocking
one's a White
against
Ranger.
each other, baby.
Oh.
So wait. Is the White Ranger Bo-Katan?
It's close enough.
Me.
It's like a night owl.
It's like,
helmet.
yeah, sure. All right, we'll allow it.
I
Oh.
don't have a Bo-Katan helmet, man.
They're at GameStop, $49.95.
That cheap? Ooh, that's not good.
It's the plastic kind.
Mm.
No.
Anyway,
No.
hey, I'm gonna take a quick second right now, and I'm gonna throw a shout out to a fan. There's a
Okay.
fan who requested a shout out, and I should have done it during our socials.
Let's do it now.
Randy from Tampa, Florida. As you can
Hail
hear,
Randy.
Trevor is typing your name in right now for fan of the night.
Randy
Yes.
from Tampa, I am sorry that the Lightning lost tonight, but not really. I'm glad they lost. Go Maple Leafs.
Wow.
Nice.
Don't worry, he's a
Not
native
even a U.S.
person.
team. That's great.
But when I say Randy, I actually mean my dad. Hey, Dad. I know you're listening.
Hey, Alexander's dad. All I got to say to you is, oh, Canada.
You know what? Dad's not even a sports fan, so it doesn't even matter.
Ah,
Right once Lightning started losing tonight, he changed it to like Goof Troop
Good
or
man.
something like that.
Good man.
He was like, I don't care.
that's a
Anyways,
solid shit
back to
change, right?
Mandalorian. Thanks for listening, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Let's get back to
This
some
is the
negatives.
way.
What else don't we like?
It's just everything's so like there's no
felt
stakes.
rushed.
I think that was it. It's rushed and no
It
stakes.
felt
You
rough.
combine those two, it's just
It felt like when the Emperor says you are now called Darth Vader, like just how it just
yeah, like that,
lo-
right?
It sounds like just the deadest thud. Just to see the IG-11 as the marshal, to see the forge relit, and to see Din in front of his little Arizona house. I mean, I just
What's
didn't
his
care about any of
Arizona
those
house?
three
Little
things.
Pueblo on the yeah, it was nice.
All I
like
needed
it.
was some Arizona tea and
Yeah.
a Corona.
Yeah.
It was just such a, like, I don't know, it was just a dud ending. It was just like there was like 10 or 15 minutes left, and I'm like, what are they doing? They already
Credits.
defeated Moff Gideon for the 5th time. Now what?
It's credits. Do you think
Everything's gonna
do
wrap
you think
up
the show
nicely.
needed about 2 more episodes to really kind of?
No. They
No?
should have just re-edited the 1 through 6. That's what they
Cut out
needed to
half
do.
of that.
That
They could have cut out a lot of 1 through 6. I mean, in episode 7, there's a point where they need help, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I will help," or whatever. And they spend 10 minutes with each Mandalorian stepping up to say that they'll go on the mission.
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot
yeah,
about
that
that
was-
part.
And
Oh,
it
God, that
was like,
horrible.
Yeah.
how is this? I get it.
Oh.
Everybody's going to help. I got it. We don't need each person. Do we want to call
I'll
some more
go.
Mandalorians in
I'll
to
go.
volunteers tribute? I mean, come on.
That's a bit much.
All for Dragon Birds. All for
But it
Dragon
goes
Birds.
into the whole season, just like that was the epitome where they just had these long sequences that they could have cut down.
Yeah.
And so maybe 7 and 8, or at least 8, wouldn't feel as rushed if you didn't waste so much time 1 through 6.
So you're saying better pacing? throughout the whole
Yes,
season.
well, it had a horrible pace, and that's why it was so uneven. You'd have these intense action sequences to long exposition that really wasn't in depth or detail. It was very basic exposition, which is such a weird thing to spend minutes of dialogue where you only cover surface things. Oof.
I feel like they're writing the show episode by episode rather than trying to write the whole narrative. You know, like they
can see
finished,
that.
finished filming an episode, like, okay, let's write the next one real quick.
I can see
Let's
that.
throw
I
some
can see
lines
that.
together.
I mean,
That's
it
what it
feels
felt like
to me when I watch it, it feels like a video game. The whole
No,
show
it's
feels
very. This one, out of
It's
all
a-
of them, has
yeah.
felt the most like a video game because everyone had kept upgrading armor, upgrading whatever, right?
side quest after
Oh,
side
here, yeah,
quest.
here is your place that you can stay when you come to visit this planet. This is your home. You can fast travel here anytime you want.
I
Very
did like that
video
you can fast travel here.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
great to see that Mando got a timeshare out there on that planet.
Yeah, it's an Airbnb when he's not there. It's
Yeah.
great. Good business for him.
I mean, just
Yeah,
the idea, the very core concept of the first episode is like, oh, I need a particular droid, and so I have to go back to Navarro. Oh, it has to be this IG droid because that's the only one I'm comfortable with. And oh, this you're gonna have to go talk to Babu Frick to do. Oh, you have to actually go to this planet to get the chip that he needs. It's like, come on.
It's a video
Side
game.
quest
Yeah.
the show. Side quest the
Side
show.
Quest the show.
Um,
Season 3.
Oh my god, yeah, that was awful. I think but that was in the first 2 episodes. That's why I was so confused. Like in the first 2 episodes, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this. I don't know if I
Yeah.
even want to
Mhm.
finish this. But then I got.
I
through
still
those
don't know
first
if I wanted to finish it, but it's done.
But we did.
We had to because we recorded. We record these things.
I just want to watch Mario again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. This is just an aside. Did you like Mario?
I loved
loved
Mario. I went
loved
to
it.
the theater a second time.
Dude, I remember you mentioned saying it looks like hot garbage.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't say it looked like hot garbage. I thought that the juxtaposition of Chris Pratt's voice was going to be hot garbage, but the guys who
did say
made
that.
this movie played Mario growing up. They loved Mario. Nintendo had very direct influence. And again, that's what some of the most fun I've had at the theater.
Good.
Is there no
Okay.
plot? Absolutely. Do Mario games have a plot? No, they don't.
No.
It was a Mario game that they made brilliantly. It had great homages and the soundtrack. I absolutely love the soundtracks of Mario games. To have those in a movie, all in. And
Nice.
shout out to Peaches.
Hey, the Donkey Kong rap being used in the Smash Brothers level, amazing.
go.
I loved it. Loved it.
Okay, I'm glad that we jumped into a whole new conversation.
Oh, dude, I've seen. You know, I don't watch things a second time. I literally went
That's
to the
true.
theater
This is
a
true.
second
This is
time
two-
to see the
two
Mario
first.
movie.
Alex watching the whole show, and Trevor went back to the theater to see a movie a second time.
Yeah.
What is happening? Okay.
We're getting good at this podcasting thing, I tell you what.
Yes. Oh my Atlanta.
It is the way. So I got to ask, did y'all watch Bad Batch? The latest season of Bad Batch?
No,
I have not.
There's a new season.
I absolutely hated and despised the Bad Batch sequence of the relaunch of Clone Wars to finish that season. Like, we get those final 4 episodes where Ahsoka actually has to deal with Executive Order or Execute Order 66. That's totally good. But Ahsoka's side quest with those two people she meets down in Coruscant, plus the Bad Batch sequence, I just did not care for. So it did not intrigue me at all to watch.
So is it
any
worth
more
it?
Bad
though?
Batch?
I think it's worth it. I think,
And I love Clone Wars, and it just the Bad Batch we get in that sequence are so stereotypical for. Oh, look, here's the big dumb guy. Oh,
Well-
here's the grungy leader guy. Oh, here's the nerdy tech guy. It's like, oh my god, I can't do this.
each Bad Batch member is based off like an action star of the '80s, or
No, I get it.
off the
I just
Thunderbolt.
can't do it in
But-
2023.
but the shows, the dynamic of the show with the characters, is so fun that you forget that it's Star Wars, because you have your Rambo, you have your Jason Statham, you have your like your hacker guy, like Seth Green looking guy. Each one plays a good part to it that you forget it's Star Wars for a little bit. And plus it ties into Rebels too, because you have the guy who trained Ezra is the lead-in as a kid. So I thought it was good. I thought
I know I have heard people say like what Trevor was saying, that they didn't care for them and they weren't going to watch the show and they ended up loving the show. So I don't know if they just did a better job with the show with the characters.
They might.
So,
I'm
I
just
think
saying that character arc that we get in season 6 of Clone Wars
didn't help you
just
want to watch
doesn't
this,
offer any intrigue at all. And the one thing I heard is that Clone Wars makes you actually like the clones.
Yes.
You actually even indeed love the clones.
Yes.
And Bad Batch throws all that goodwill towards clones out the window. That's all
not
that I've
entirely,
heard.
not entirely.
At least
When
for
you-
season 1. I don't know if season 2 rectifies that.
Well, when you watch it, the way that the Bad Batch treats other clones is very much different how they treat everybody else. So there is some biasness with how they treat their fellow clones. So,
Whenever you dive into the more like cultural and just philosophical ideas of what it means to be a clone,
Mhm.
I'm all in. Those are the best arcs in Clone Wars.
and that's
so-
what Bad Batch does. They kind
Okay.
of separate that. Like for instance, they're killing other aliens. They're straight up just like murking other aliens.
right.
They're tasing their fellow clones. They're just shocking them to unconsciousness, but they're straight up killing everything else. So they've got that, set to stun versus set to kill when you're watching that.
So the thing that I worry about with shows like that, because I'm not going to watch an animated show for the
We
most
know you're not.
part.
Yeah.
No, of
Did
course.
you watch Mario?
No. It's not a show. It's a movie. I can watch a movie that's animated because that'll be over real soon. I don't really watch a whole lot. Well, and let me just clarify. It's Star Wars animation. Like I'm not going to go back and watch all those Rebels. I'm not going to go back and watch all those Bad Batch and all that stuff, all those shows. But the one thing that I do worry about is that this stuff is going to tie in, just like Book of Boba Fett. You had to watch Book of Boba Fett to really understand season 3 of Mandalorian. Or then you, like you said last time, Trevor, where you're like, if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, why is Grogu back with Din?
Right, it'd be a shock.
true.
It'd be like, what the heck?
Exactly. I don't want that to happen with these animated
Well,
shows, because then I have to watch the animated show.
If you don't watch Rebels, you're not going to understand Ahsoka.
But I know enough about Ahsoka by talking to these guys, so there we go.
That's fair.
Where's
What?
cheat sheet?
You guys are the best cheat sheet. And I learned a bunch about Ahsoka just from Mandalorian. She shows up, she talks about her story a little bit. She's teaching the Force to Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get a gist that she's a Jedi who's hiding out.
Well, she's not a Jedi.
That's interesting.
she's not a
Yeah,
Jedi.
interesting way to say that.
Unbelievable.
No, she's not
Hold
a
on,
Jedi.
she
though.
says
Yeah,
she
she's
says
just a
she's
Force
not a
user
Jedi.
at this
Yeah,
point.
she's
Yeah,
a Force
she-
user.
You're right. Which, did you guys notice? So Moff Gideon made all of those clones of
Clones.
himself. And he
Yes.
said, they are clones of me, but they all have the Force.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he should have just said, I injected them with metachlorians and
Oh, we can't say that anymore.
That's against the
That's the
law.
word.
I know, but it's
I saw a
It's
funny
funny.
tweet where the guy's like, in seasons 1 and 2, Moff Gideon has a mustache. In season 3, he does not. Is season 3 Moff Gideon actually one of the clones?
gas. He never uses the Force, so no, I guess not.
And how many clones are out there still?
Who knows?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole Rick Sanchez type of theory.
Oh,
Which
no.
one's the real one?
Dude, everything can be a Rick Sanchez theory. Good lord.
Dub. Let's get out of
Oh.
here, folks.
Are we done? Are we
I think
done?
We're already Rick and Mortying this stuff. Let's get out of here.
Oh, that's
man.
true. Yeah. Aaron, hey man, thanks for coming on this week. I really appreciate it. I know that I've been trying to work on you getting on here for a little while. Why don't you
I enjoyed
promote
your
yourself a
negativity.
little bit? Tell us where people can find you.
Yeah, I'll promote my negativity. Part of the Front Row Negative podcast. We are on Podbean. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, any place that basically has a podcast section. We are there with our old episodes that are still entertaining to listen to for a second and maybe a third time. Third time's the charm. We have a YouTube channel, Front Row Negative. Just search it out. It's a bunch of unboxing videos, crappy product stuff I get in the mail, mystery shirts, all that stupid stuff. Go check it out. See me get disappointed when I unbox a 47 brand order that has 3 of the exact same hat that's supposed to be mystery and random. Don't know how it happened.
Oh my god!
But
I'm
I
disappointed
hate the
for
Golden
you.
State Warriors. Still, go check that out and laugh. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, and also I've got a T-shirt store. Go to TeePublic, go to Redbubble, look up Aaron Garcia, and you should find my stuff.
Awesome.
Nice.
That
Will
is
do.
it. But don't steal my stuff. Don't steal the art.
Don't worry, we can make our own art on AI anymore.
Yeah,
so.
don't worry. AIs can handle that.
Exactly.
So, to everyone listening, be sure to let us know what you thought of The Mandalorian Season 3. Are you excited for a potential Season 4? Are you done with The Mandalorian season or any kind of future seasons? Like, you're good with it? Let us know, because I think I'm done with The Mandalorian.
Even if they go off and do Bo-Katan's story?
Bo-Katan's story, like, they tried to tell me their song wasn't already sang, but this Bo-Katan, I don't know, she was a little bit one-dimensional. I didn't see any character development or growth at all from any of the characters, and
She's
kinda
over the
fits in
hill.
that.
She's over the hill. Time to retire.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't have the passion that she used to have.
Yeah, she still looks good doing it.
A lot of people do. So, to everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.
Rock out.
Adios, y'all.
Stay negative.
Oh, that was great.
Oh.